The champagne flute shattered against the marble floor of the penthouse, its fragments scattering like the pieces of Gabe Hargrove's crumbling world. He stared at the empty safe, the void where millions in bonds and cash had vanished overnight, and the note from Jamie that read simply, "I'm sorry, but this was never real." In that moment, as the New York skyline mocked him through the floor-to-ceiling windows, Gabe felt the sting of betrayal slice deeper than any business deal gone sour. He had given his heart to a con man. Gabe had built his empire from nothing. A tech startup in Silicon Valley that exploded into a billion-dollar cybersecurity firm, Hargrove Security Solutions, made him one of the youngest openly gay millionaires in America. At 35, he was celebrated in Forbes lists and pride parades alike, a symbol of success against the odds. But success came with isolation. Boardrooms filled with allies who saw him as a token, and a family back in Texas who still whispered about his lifestyle choice. He craved connection, something real amid the superficial handshakes. That's when Jamie entered his life, like a breath of fresh air in a stuffy gala. Jamie Ellis, 28, an aspiring artist from Brooklyn, with tousled brown hair and eyes that sparkled with genuine curiosity, or so Gabe thought. They met at a charity auction for LGBTQ youth shelters, where Jamie outbid everyone for a painting Gabe had donated. "It's not just art," Jamie said, flashing a shy smile. "It's a statement against the world that tries to erase us." Gabe was hooked. Their first date was coffee in Central Park, talking for hours about dreams, discrimination, and the quiet battles of being gay in a society that patted itself on the back for tolerance, but still harbored shadows of hate. Inside, Gabe wrestled with doubts. Was he too quick to trust? His inner voice whispered warnings. "You've been burned before, by men who saw your wallet before your worth." But Jamie seemed different. He didn't ask for money. He shared stories of his own struggles, growing up in a conservative Midwest town where coming out meant exile. "I lost my family," Jamie confessed one night, tears in his eyes. "But I gained my truth." Gabe's heart ached for him, mirroring his own estrangement from parents who sent Christmas cards but never visited. He pushed the doubts aside, letting love bloom. Their relationship deepened fast. Weekend getaways to the Hamptons, where they walked hand in hand without fear, though Gabe noticed the occasional sideways glance from passers-by. Jamie moved into the penthouse after 6 months, his paintings adorning the walls, bringing color to Gabe's sterile life. "You're my anchor," Gabe told him, proposing a joint bank account for our future. Jamie hesitated, but Gabe insisted. It was a symbol of commitment in a world where gay marriage was legal but still fought over in courts and conversations. The first cracks appeared subtly. Jamie's art shows that never materialized, mysterious phone calls he took in hushed tones. Gabe's mind raced. Is he cheating, or just stressed? He confronted Jamie gently, but the response was deflection wrapped in affection. "Babe, it's nothing. Trust me." And Gabe did, because the alternative, admitting vulnerability, terrified him more than financial loss. Then came the investment pitch. Jamie introduced a friend with a startup idea for an app supporting queer artists. "It's for us," Jamie urged. "Think of the impact." Gabe wired the funds. $2 million. Blinded by love and the desire to prove he was more than his money. Days later, Jamie vanished along with the money. The police report was humiliating. "Victim of romance scam." Headlines screamed, "Gay tech mogul fleeced by boyfriend," turning his pain into tabloid fodder. Society's judgment poured in, online trolls questioning if he deserved it for being flaunting his wealth and sexuality. Gabe's inner turmoil boiled. How could I be so naive? He replayed every moment, dissecting Jamie's words for lies. The betrayal wasn't just financial. It shattered his faith in love, in the community he fought for. He threw himself into work, but nights were haunted by what-ifs. What if I never trust again? What if this defines me? As months turned to a year, Gabe rebuilt. Therapy helped unpack the layers, societal pressures making him desperate for validation, the internalized homophobia that made him overcompensate. He dated sparingly, guarded, but the scar remained, a reminder that love, for men like him, came with risks amplified by prejudice. The courtroom echoed with the gavel's final thud, sealing the fate of the scam ring that had ensnared Gabe. But Jamie wasn't there. His friend took the fall, claiming Jamie was just a pawn. Gabe sat in the back, his face a mask of stoicism. But inside, rage and sorrow clashed like thunder. Why did I ever believe in him? The question looped endlessly, fueling a fire that burned brighter with each passing day. Life post-betrayal was a grind. Hargrove Security thrived, expanding into AI-driven protections against online fraud. Ironic, given his personal history. Gabe became an advocate, speaking at conferences about romance scams targeting the LGBTQ community. "We're vulnerable," he'd say, voice steady but eyes betraying the hurt. "Society tells us we're lucky to find love at all, so we ignore red flags." Applause followed, but it felt hollow. His speeches were cathartic, yet they reopened wounds, forcing him to relive the deception. Friends urged him to move on. "You're Gabe Hargrove untouchable," his best friend Marcus said over drinks in a trendy Manhattan bar. Marcus, also gay and successful in finance, understood the scrutiny. "But holding on to this anger? It's poisoning you." Gabe nodded, but inwardly rebelled. "How can I let go when it feels like justice evaded me?" Jamie was out there free while Gabe paid the emotional toll. Flashbacks haunted him. The night Jamie confessed his debts from art school, tears streaming as he begged for understanding. "I don't want your money, Gabe. I want you." Lies, all lies. Or were they? Doubt crept in during quiet moments. What if he was coerced? Gabe shoved it down, focusing on rebuilding trust, in himself if not others. A year after the scam, Gabe met Ethan at a Pride event in San Francisco. Ethan, a 32-year-old teacher, was grounded, kind, without the flash that Jamie exuded. Their dates were simple picnics, museum visits. But Gabe held back, his mind whispering comparisons. Ethan's touch felt safe, yet Gabe pulled away, fearing repetition. "What's wrong?" Ethan asked one evening, concern etching his face. I can't do this," Gabe admitted, voice cracking. Inside, a storm raged. Am I doomed to solitude because of one betrayal? Ethan deserved better, someone whole. They parted amicably, but Gabe's heart fractured anew. Society's expectations weighed heavy. Successful gay men should have it all, right? But the pressure to appear perfect masked the isolation. Work became his refuge, but even there, conflicts arose. A board member, subtly homophobic, questioned Gabe's judgment post-scam. "Personal distractions affect business," he sneered in a meeting. Gabe fired back. "My personal life built this company. Resilience from facing bigotry like yours." The room tensed, but Gabe stood firm, though inwardly he questioned if the scam had weakened his authority. Then, a tip from a private investigator. Jamie spotted in Los Angeles, living modestly. Gabe's pulse raced. Confront him? Report him? The decision tore at him. Revenge tempted, but so did closure. He flew out, heart pounding, only to find Jamie working at a coffee shop, looking worn. From afar, Gabe watched, emotions swirling. Hate, pity, lingering love? He left without approaching, the missed opportunity gnawing at his soul. Back in New York, therapy sessions intensified. "Why protect him?" his therapist probed. Gabe's response: "Because hating him means admitting I was a fool." The admission unlocked floods of grief, for lost love, for societal scars that made him an easy target. He joined support groups for scam victims, hearing stories of others in the community exploited due to desperation for acceptance. As 2 years passed, Gabe evolved. He funded scholarships for queer youth, turning pain into purpose. But the inner conflict persisted. Forgive or forget? The answer eluded him, building tension like a storm on the horizon. The email arrived on a rainy Tuesday. Subject line: "Truth you deserve." Gabe's finger hovered over delete, but curiosity or masochism won. It was from Jamie, after 3 years of silence. "Meet me. I owe you everything." Gabe's mind screamed trap, but his heart, traitorous as ever, yearned for answers. "Why now?" The question fueled a vortex of anger and hope, pulling him deeper into emotional chaos. He agreed to meet at a neutral spot, a quiet cafe in Chicago midway between their worlds. Gabe arrived early, nerves frayed, rehearsing confrontations in his head. What if it's another scam? But beneath the fury lay vulnerability. What if he explains, and I believe him again? Society had taught him skepticism, especially as a gay man navigating a world quick to judge his choices. Jamie looked different, thinner, shadowed by regret. No flashy clothes, just a simple shirt and jeans. "Gabe!" he started, voice trembling. "I never meant to hurt you." Gabe's response was ice. "Save the script. Where's my money?" Inside, turmoil brewed. Part of him wanted to scream, another to listen, torn between justice and the ghost of love. Jamie spilled it all. The friend was his brother, deep in gambling debts to dangerous people. "They threatened my life if I didn't help," Jamie confessed, eyes pleading. "I fell for you, Gabe. It started as a con, but became real." Gabe's mind reeled. Lies or truth? Evidence mounted. Photos of bruises from years ago. Police reports Jamie had filed anonymously. But doubt lingered. "Why not tell me then?" The conversation escalated. "You used me," Gabe accused, voice rising. Heads turned, but he didn't care. "In a world where we're already marginalized, you exploited our trust." Jamie countered, "I was scared. Coming out cost me everything, family, safety. I saw you as salvation. Then love complicated it." Their words clashed, exposing raw wounds. Gabe's fear of being seen as weak, Jamie's desperation born from societal rejection. Gabe stormed out, but Jamie's words echoed. Back home, insomnia gripped him. Was I too blind? Or he too broken? He confided in Marcus, who urged caution. Sounds like manipulation, but Gabe's heart wavered, replaying tender moments. The conflict intensified. Forgive a betrayer or cling to victimhood? Society's lens amplified it. Gay relationships under scrutiny, with narratives of drama over stability. Weeks later, another revelation. Jamie returned half the money, wired anonymously with a note. "Proof of my regret." Gabe's emotions surged, relief mixed with suspicion. Investigators confirmed it clean, no strings. Inside, a war. Accept it as amends or pursue prosecution. The choice haunted him, mirroring broader debates in the community about forgiveness versus accountability. Gabe dove deeper into advocacy, organizing panels on exploitation within LGBTQ circles. "We face external hate, but internal betrayals cut deepest," he shared, voice thick with emotion. Attendees nodded, sharing stories of similar pains, partners hiding addictions, fueled by unaddressed traumas from discrimination. It bonded him, but also isolated. Am I advocating from strength or unresolved hurt? A tentative reconnection followed. Emails, then calls. Jamie shared his therapy journey, confronting his actions. "I was wrong, Gabe. No excuse." Gabe's responses were guarded, but vulnerability seeped in. "You broke me." Their dialogues peeled layers. Jamie's internalized shame from a homophobic upbringing. Gabe's pressure to embody success without flaws. As feelings resurfaced, conflict peaked. Date Ethan again? Or risk with Jamie? Society whispered judgments. Once a scammer, Gabe's inner monologue raged. Am I foolish for considering? The drama built, choices weighing like anchors on his soul. The wedding invitation from mutual friends arrived, forcing Gabe to confront the inevitable. Seeing Jamie again. For years post-betrayal, the wound had scarred, but the sight of him across the venue reopened it raw. Their eyes met, and in that instant, Gabe's heart betrayed him anew. Love lingered, twisted with pain. Why can't I hate you completely? The question clawed at his mind, amplifying the emotional storm within. The event was a celebration of queer love, yet for Gabe, it mocked his turmoil. He watched couples dance, envying their ease, while his thoughts spiraled. Society celebrates us now, but at what cost? The progress masked persistent struggles, mental health crises, higher rates of exploitation among gay men due to isolation. Jamie approached hesitantly. "Can we talk?" Gabe nodded, steeling himself, but inside, vulnerability flooded. "What if this destroys me again?" Their conversation in the garden was electric with tension. "I've changed," Jamie insisted. "Therapy, amends. I'm building a real life." Gabe challenged. "By stealing mine?" Tears welled in Jamie's eyes. "I loved you, Gabe. Fear drove me." Evidence of his reform piled up, volunteering at shelters, art therapy for traumatized youth. But Gabe's doubt persisted. Is redemption possible, or just a pretty lie? The debate turned personal. "You represent everything I fought against," Gabe accused. "Exploiting our community." Jamie fired back. "And you? Hiding behind wealth, pretending perfection." Words stung, exposing truths. Gabe's fear of vulnerability stemmed from a youth bullied for being gay, Jamie's from abandonment. Their argument drew stares, but it catharted suppressed emotions. Rage, sorrow, lingering affection. Post-wedding, they met secretly. Coffee turned to dinners, rebuilding tentatively. Gabe's inner conflict raged fiercer. "Betray my principles for love?" Friends warned. Marcus called it Stockholm Syndrome. But Gabe felt alive, challenged. "He's different," he defended, though doubt gnawed. Or am I justifying weakness? A major twist emerged. Jamie revealed he had a child, a son from a past surrogacy attempt, hidden during their relationship. "I was ashamed," Jamie admitted, "afraid you'd see me as flawed." Gabe's world tilted. Fatherhood? The revelation sparked fury, another secret. But also empathy. Jamie's son, now 5, faced bullying for having 2 dads in theory, though Jamie raised him alone. "I want to do right by him," Jamie pleaded. Gabe met the boy, Tommy, and emotions overwhelmed. The child's innocence contrasted their chaos. Inside, Gabe wrestled. Step into this family or run? Societal pressures amplified. Gay parenting under fire from conservative groups. Debates on traditional families. Gabe funded legal protections for them, but questioned his motives. Love or control? As bonds strengthened, betrayal's shadow loomed. A leaked story hit the press. Millionaire forgives scammer ex? Trolls attacked. Gay elite protecting their own. Gabe's board pressured resignation threats. His mind screamed. Is this worth it? The drama escalated, choices fracturing his sanity. Forgive fully or sever ties. Therapy unearthed depths. You're seeking redemption too, his therapist noted. Gabe realized his empire was a shield against rejection. The scam a catalyst for growth. But pain intensified, nights filled with what-ifs. What if love redeems us all? The hospital room beeps pierced the silence, where Jamie lay pale after a car accident. 5 years since the scam, fate twisting their paths irrevocably. Gabe rushed in, heart pounding, confronted by Tommy clutching his father's hand. In that moment, terror gripped Gabe. Lose him now, after all this? The question unleashed a torrent of grief, love, and unresolved rage, emotions crashing like waves in a hurricane. Recovery was slow, Jamie's injuries from a drunk driver symbolizing life's cruelty. Gabe stayed by his side, but inside, accusations flew. Why risk everything for you? Their rekindled relationship, fragile as glass, now tested ultimate. Tommy's tears amplified it. Don't leave us, Gabe. The boy's plea tore at Gabe's soul, mirroring his own childhood pleas for acceptance. Confrontations peaked. This accident, it's karma? Gabe whispered bitterly one night. Jamie, weak but defiant, replied, or a chance to prove I'm worthy. Their words, laced with pain, exposed cores. Jamie's guilt eternal, Gabe's forgiveness conditional. I stole your trust, Jamie admitted, but you stole my heart back. Gabe's response choked, and broke mine twice. Society intruded harshly. Media hounded. Redeemed romance or reckless reunion? Protests outside Hargrove offices decried privileged gays, evading justice. Gabe's inner war reached fever pitch. Defend our love? or bow to judgment. He spoke publicly, "Love isn't perfect. It's messy, especially for us." Backlash ensued. Lost contracts. Family disowning him fully. Pain deepened. Am I sacrificing everything for illusion? Tommy became the anchor. Bonding over stories, Gabe saw Jamie's influence. Kindness amid flaws. But doubts assaulted. Raise a child in this controversy? Ethical debates raged internally. Does forgiveness enable harm or heal? Community split. Some hailed redemption, others decried naivety. A final revelation shattered. Jamie's brother, out of prison, confessed coercing Jamie with threats against Tommy. He protected his son, the brother admitted. Gabe's world inverted. Not greed, but paternal love drove the scam. Emotions erupted, relief, betrayal anew. You lied to protect him? Gabe demanded. Jamie nodded, tears flowing. I'd do it again for my boy. Forgiveness crystallized, but at cost. Gabe proposed marriage, ring in hand, amid hospital monitors. Build a family, he urged. Jamie accepted, but Gabe's mind whispered. Right choice? Their union sparked debates. Gay adoption rights, redemption in relationships. Years blended healing and strife. They married quietly, raising Tommy amid advocacy. But scars remained. Love tempered by trials. Was Gabe right to forgive, proving love conquers betrayal, or wrong, risking repetition in a judgmental world?